There is a common belief that the purpose of life is happiness. Not just any happiness, but pleasure, the kind that feels good in the moment, the kind that helps people forget, the kind that numbs the weight of responsibility. And for a while, this notion dominates the modern psyche. After all, isn't that what society teaches? Work just enough to afford pleasure. Chase entertainment, distractions, comfort. But the more people indulge, the more something gnaws at the edges of their minds. A creeping suspicion arises that they are enslaved by their own desires. Aldous Huxley predicted this. In Brave New World, he painted a future where people did not have to be forced into submission. They welcomed it. They were addicted to pleasure, to convenience, to the absence of suffering. No one had to be chained when they would willingly walk into their own prison. This dystopian vision, once thought to be an exaggerated fiction, has become an undeniable reality. And many are willing participants. It begins with the little things. Individuals surround themselves with mindless entertainment, scrolling endlessly, consuming content designed to keep them engaged, but never fulfilled. They justify it as relaxation, but in reality it is sedation. Every like, every comment, every notification serves as a small hit of dopamine, enough to keep them coming back, enough to make real life seem dull in comparison. And then there is food, another easy pleasure. Why cook when something can be delivered in minutes? Why eat simply when one can drown in flavor, sugar, fat, excess? It is so easy, so available. But with each indulgence comes the sluggishness, the loss of energy, the dependence. They are not nourishing themselves. They are indulging, feeding an impulse that only grows stronger the more it is obeyed. Then there is the pursuit of comfort, the rejection of struggle. If something is difficult, it is avoided. If something requires patience, it is dismissed. People want pleasure now, results now, happiness now. But life does not work that way. The greatest achievements take time, effort, pain, and yet every message absorbed from the modern world tells them that isn't necessary. Why struggle when entertainment is available? Why work when existence alone is enough? Why push oneself when everything desired is a click away? This is the truth. Pleasure has become a prison. Modern slavery is not chains and whips. It is comfort. It is ease. It is an invisible cage made of desires that seem like choices, but in reality, they are controlling the individual. People are sedated by entertainment, pacified by excess, manipulated by algorithms designed to know them better than they know themselves. And this is called freedom. Huxley warned that people would learn to love their servitude, that they would be so addicted to pleasure they wouldn't even recognize their own enslavement. He was right. And millions are trapped within this cycle. Breaking free requires conscious effort. The cycle must be broken. Minds must be reclaimed. Wills must be strengthened. Endurance must be embraced. It starts small, reading books instead of scrolling endlessly, cooking real food instead of relying on convenience, embracing discomfort instead of running from it. It is painful at first, but gradually something shifts. People begin to feel real pleasure, the kind that comes from creation, from effort, from overcoming something hard. Not the fleeting high of indulgence, but the deep, lasting fulfillment of discipline. Pleasure, when sought for its own sake, is a trap. It dulls the mind, weakens the spirit, enslaves the will. True freedom is the ability to resist, to choose long-term meaning over short-term gratification. And that is a choice that must be made every single day. The dangers of unchecked pleasure extend beyond the individual. They shape entire societies, economies, and political structures. A population that is constantly entertained, constantly pacified, does not rise up. It does not question authority. It does not demand change. Governments and corporations understand this well. They manufacture distractions, ensuring that people remain too comfortable to resist. This is not a new tactic. It is as old as civilization itself. The Romans had their bread and circuses, keeping the masses docile with food and spectacle. Today the methods have evolved, but the effect remains the same. A life dominated by pleasure-seeking leads to stagnation. Creativity withers, ambition fades, and the capacity for deep thought diminishes. How many great ideas have been lost because they were never pursued beyond the fleeting inspiration of a moment? How many books were never written, inventions never created, discoveries never made, because it was easier to sit back and be entertained? Human potential is limitless, yet so many willingly exchange it for comfort. And then there is the fear of emptiness. For those who live only for pleasure, there is a void lurking beneath it all, a nagging sense that something is missing. When pleasure is pursued without meaning, it becomes hollow. The highs diminish, the satisfaction fades, and what once brought joy becomes routine. This is why addiction exists, not just to substances, but to entertainment, to social validation, to consumerism. The constant need for more, for something new, for something stronger, but it never fills the void. To break free, one must first recognize the chains. It requires an awakening, a realization that pleasure, though not inherently bad, must be balanced with purpose. It means embracing struggle, engaging in meaningful work, and cultivating discipline. It means being willing to step away from distractions and confront reality. Throughout history, those who changed the world were not those who sought pleasure above all else. They were the ones who endured hardship, who worked tirelessly toward a goal greater than themselves. They were visionaries, thinkers, creators. They understood that true fulfillment comes not from fleeting indulgence, but from lasting achievement. The modern world offers more comfort and convenience than ever before, but it also presents a choice: remain in the cycle of easy pleasure or strive for something greater. The future belongs to those who choose the latter,